Lake Baikal's sheer dimensions are astounding. It is the deepest lake on Earth with a depth of over 1 mile. It is the world's largest, containing 1/5 of all fresh water on Earth.
1,000 kilometers from the nearest sea, ice breathes, stones float, and ancient waters whisper in seismic rhythms.
It is the oldest and deepest freshwater lake in the world.
Here in Siberia, beneath a mirror of glassy silence, tectonic plates drift apart, revealing something far older and deeper than anyone imagined. Scientists came searching for Earth's secrets. What they found could rewrite our understanding of life itself. The immensity beneath. From the air, Lake Baikal stretches like a colossal scar across Siberia, a crescent-shaped anomaly that slices through ancient mountains with impossible grace. At 636 kilometers long, it's longer than the entire country of Belgium. And at its deepest point, 1,637 meters, it surpasses every other lake on Earth. But numbers alone can't explain Baikal's gravity. This isn't simply the world's deepest lake. It's also the oldest, the clearest, and the most voluminous body of fresh water anywhere on the planet. Formed over 25 million years ago, Baikal predates the Himalayas. While most lakes silt up and vanish within mere thousands of years, Baikal has defied that fate. It continues to grow, both in depth and in mystery, expanding slowly as tectonic forces pull its shores apart, millimeter by millimeter, year after year. Scientists no longer view it as a static basin. Baikal is, geologically speaking, a newborn ocean. Its waters, about 23,000 cubic kilometers of them, account for roughly 20% of all the fresh water found in Earth's lakes. That's more than all 5 of North America's Great Lakes combined. If every river on Earth were redirected to refill it, it would take 7 continuous months of flow just to bring Baikal back to full capacity. And yet, it's not the scale that astonishes most visitors. It's the stillness. Standing at the edge of Baikal, one doesn't feel like they're near a lake. They feel like they're at the shore of something ancient, intelligent, and quietly watching. The Earth trembles here. Lake Baikal rests atop a living wound in the Earth's crust, a rift valley where tectonic plates are slowly tearing the continent apart. The ground beneath it is restless, perpetually in motion. Thousands of tiny earthquakes ripple through the region each year, subtle reminders that Baikal's story is still being written. The mountain ranges that frame its shores, the Kamar-Daban, Primorsky, and Baikal ranges, aren't just scenery. They're active participants in this geologic ballet, rising and shifting as the planet breathes beneath them. In some places, like the Severomoysky range, the mountains rise by up to 2 centimeters per year. The opposite shores of the lake are drifting apart, increasing the gap by about 5 millimeters annually. This quiet expansion mirrors the early stages of ocean formation, similar to the rifts that once formed the Atlantic. Baikal may still be a lake, but beneath its surface, it is undergoing a slow metamorphosis. It is not dying like most lakes, it is becoming something more. The seabed itself holds clues to this transformation. There are no lava-spewing volcanoes here, but the bottom is peppered with mud and gas volcanoes, silent chimneys releasing pressure from deep within the Earth. When the Mir 1 and Mir 2 submersibles explored these depths in 2008 and 2010, they found alien landscapes shaped by forces rarely observed in freshwater environments. The silence is deceptive. What appears frozen and still from above is in truth seething with motion and energy. This hidden tectonic unrest is not only shaping Baikal's future, it has also helped preserve its past, creating an environment of such profound isolation and purity that life here has evolved in ways unseen anywhere else on Earth. Fire in the ice. Beneath Baikal's icy surface, fire still lingers. Deep on the lakebed, between folds of cold rock and ancient silt, lies an unseen world sculpted by energy and pressure. Here, hydrothermal vents gush like underwater geysers, releasing mineral-rich heat into the depths. Found in places like Frolika Bay, these springs defy the surrounding chill, forming oases of warmth in an otherwise frozen realm. It's a phenomenon rarely observed in freshwater, and never at this scale. The lakebed also holds other secrets: fields of natural oil seeps, thick bitumen deposits, and plumes of methane rising silently from below. These bubbles, when frozen in Baikal's crystalline ice, form dazzling three-dimensional constellations, suspended in time. Despite the presence of 4-6 tons of oil naturally leaking into the lake each year, catastrophe is avoided, not by chance, but by life. Microscopic bacteria feed on these hydrocarbons, neutralizing them before harm is done. These invisible custodians are part of Baikal's intricate biological defense system. But perhaps the most astonishing discovery came in 2015, when researchers identified an ancient ecosystem thriving near the hydrothermal vents. Inside these dark, high-pressure pockets, microbial extremophiles, organisms that live not off sunlight, but off the chemical reactions between water and rock, were found living and reproducing. These microbes aren't just rare, they mirror life forms found near deep sea vents in Earth's oceans, and more remarkably, resemble the kind of organisms scientists believe could exist on icy moons, like Jupiter's Europa or Saturn's Enceladus. This makes Baikal more than a geological wonder. It becomes a time capsule, a planetary laboratory, and a window into extraterrestrial possibility. In its silence and pressure and darkness, Baikal harbors not just ancient life, but perhaps the blueprint for life beyond Earth. Creatures of an isolated ocean. Suspended between ice and fire, Baikal's waters have birthed a world of living relics, creatures shaped by millions of years of solitude. Nowhere else can you find a freshwater ecosystem so rich with species found nowhere else on Earth. Nearly 2,600 animal species inhabit this lake, and more than half are endemic, born here, evolved here, and entirely unique to this hidden world. Near the bottom, the lake resembles a coral reef cloaked in emerald. Bright green Baikal sponges cling to rocks, filtering water and forming vibrant jungles where strange life thrives. Among the branches, giant amphipods, relatives of shrimp, skitter across the stones, some reaching up to 10 centimeters in length. These scavengers recycle decaying material with relentless efficiency, purifying the depths as they go. Nearby, flatworms known as planarians drift like ribbons of color, some stretching to nearly half a meter in length. But the true enigma of the deep is the golemianka, a translucent fish with no scales, no swim bladder, and a body made nearly half of fat. It births live young, a rarity in fish, and can survive crushing depths that would kill most marine life. It is, in many ways, a creature built for another planet. And yet, in the same waters swim the nerpa, the Baikal seal, a mammal, a relic of the ocean. Scientists believe its ancestors once navigated rivers from the Arctic to this inland sea. Today, the nerpa sleeps underwater, surfacing only when its oxygen runs low, then drifting back into the dark without ever truly waking. Here in Baikal, evolution didn't just adapt to extremes, it embraced them. When the water freezes to glass, winter descends on Baikal not with silence, but with sound. As the lake cools, its immense body of water releases stored summer heat, softening the Siberian air even as temperatures plummet to 40 degrees Celsius below zero. Slowly, an icy shell forms across the surface, growing to over a meter thick, and in harsh winters up to 1.5. But this isn't the dull white ice of backyard ponds. Baikal's ice is crystal clear, revealing an abyss below, as if one were walking across the lens of a giant eye. Frozen inside are trapped methane bubbles, rising in layered trails that resemble luminous pearls suspended in glass. These emissions trace the volcanic activity below, turning the lake's surface into a cosmic map of unseen fires. Some years, the ice forms perfect polygonal cracks, 30 kilometers long, roaring as they fracture. Locals describe the thunder as voices of the lake itself, warning and alive. Across this frozen expanse, official ice roads stretch for miles, once used by caravans on the Great Tea Route. Drivers follow old rituals, seatbelts unfastened, doors slightly open. Because when Baikal moves, there's no time to hesitate. Yet even in this danger, strange serenity appears. Stones, warmed by the spring sun, stand balanced on thin ice pedestals, untouched by collapse. Locals call them Baikal Zen, illusions of stillness shaped by time and heat and wind. The lake does not sleep in winter. It transforms, turning solid, speaking through cracks, and revealing its surreal beauty to those who dare to listen. Baikal's greatest mysteries. For all that science has uncovered, Baikal keeps secrets. Some geological, others whispered through legend. In the chaos of Russia's civil war, it's said that Admiral Kolchak's gold vanished beneath these waters, lost with a derailed train that never reached the far shore. No trace was ever recovered. Some believe the treasure lies hidden in Baikal's abyss, buried under silt and silence. Even modern explorers approach certain parts of the lake with caution. Cape Rady, on the northwestern shore, is known among locals as a place to avoid. Here, navigational instruments fail without cause, and strange lights ripple across the surface at night. Some call it Baikal's Bermuda Triangle. From space, cosmonauts have captured something just as strange. Massive, perfectly circular rings, 5 to 7 kilometers wide, imprinted onto the spring ice. For years, these dark halos were a mystery. Today, we know they're formed by rising vortexes of warm water that erode the ice from below, a ghostly fingerprint of the forces deep beneath. And then there's the lake's most futuristic secret. Beneath its surface, scientists have installed the Baikal GVD Neutrino Telescope, a vast underwater observatory using nearly a cubic kilometer of pure water to detect elusive cosmic particles. These neutrinos, born in distant galaxies, pass through Baikal to tell us stories from the birth of stars. It's fitting. A lake older than time itself, now listening to the whispers of the universe. Here, mystery is not a byproduct, it's a function of the lake's design. And with each question answered, new ones rise from the depths. Baikal has weathered ice, fire, and time itself, but it may not survive us. A lake that listens to the stars now waits on our silence or our voice. If this story moved you, hit subscribe, share your thoughts below, and help echo its story beyond these shores.